Hi everyone, today's lesson is Module 3, Lesson 2, Multiply Multi-Digit Decimals. It starts on page 85. Turn to page 86. I would like for you to copy down this note. Multiplying decimals, line up the last digits. So when we are multiplying decimals, we have to remember to line up the last digits. Let's take a look at number 1. Last summer, Rachel worked 38 5/10 hours per week at a grocery store. She earned $9.70 per hour. How much did she earn in a week? So we're going to take our 38 5/10 and we're going to line up our 0 with our $9.70. We're going to line up that 0 with the last digit of 38 5/10. So 0 is going to go right underneath the 5. And then you write your 7, decimal point 9. Now we're going to multiply. 5 times 0 is 0. 0 times 8 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. Then we're going to move on to the next place value. So 7. And when we do that, we have to write a placeholder 0. 7 times 5 is 35. Carry the 3. 7 times 8 is 56. Plus the 3 is 59. So 9, carry the 5. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus the 5 is 26. Again, we're moving on to 9. So we have to now write 2 placeholder zeros. 9 times 5 is 45. Carry the 4. 9 times 8 is 72. Plus the 4 is 76. Carry the 7. 9 times 3 is 27. Plus the 7 is 34. Now we're going to add. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 5 plus 0 is 5. 0 plus 9 plus 5 is 14. So carry the 1. 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus the 1 is 13. Carry the 1. 4 plus 2 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. And then 3 plus 0 is 3. Now you're going to take a look at how many digits are behind the decimal point. So in 38 5/10 we have 1 digit behind the decimal point, and that's 5. In the $9.70 we have 2 digits behind the decimal point. We have 7 and 0. So we have 1 digit plus the 2 digits. So 1 plus 2 is 3, so we have to move our decimal point over 1, 2, 3 places to the left. So our answer is, since we are talking about money, we round to the nearest hundredths place, so that would be $373.45. Number 2, find the product. So that means we're going to multiply. 2 3/10 times 6/10. So again, write 2 3/10 down, and then line up your last digit in 6/10, which is 6, with the last digit in 2 3/10, which is the 3. And then you're going to multiply. 3 times 6 is 18. Carry the 1. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Placeholder 0. 0 times 3 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Now we are going to add. 8 plus 0 is 8. 3 plus 0 is 3. And 1 plus 0 is 1. Now take a look at how many digits are behind the decimal point. In 2 3/10 there's 1 digit behind the decimal point, which is a 3. And in 6/10 there's 1 digit behind the decimal point, which is 6. So 1 digit plus the 1 digit, 2 digits. So we move our decimal point over 1, 2 places to the left. So our answer is 1 38/100. Take a look at page 87. Number 8. Find the product. So we have 10 5/100 times 5 6/10. Since 10 and 500ths has more digits in it, I would suggest writing that number on top. So the number that has the most digits in it, write it on top. And then you're going to take your 5 and 6/10, line up the 6 with the last digit in 10 and 500ths, which is the 5. So line up the last digits. Decimal point 5. Now we can multiply. 5 times 6 is 30. Carry the 3. 6 times 0 is 0 plus the 3. Gives you 3. 6 times 0 is 0, and 6 times 1 is 6. Since we're moving on to the 5, we have to write a placeholder 0. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 0 is 0, plus the 2 is 2. 5 times 0 is 0, and 5 times 1 is 5. Now we're going to add our partial products. 0 plus 0 is 0. 3 plus 5 is 8. 0 plus 2 is 2. 6 plus 0 is 6, and we have 5. But we're not done yet, because we have to see how many digits are behind the decimal point. So in 10 and 500ths, we have 2 digits behind the decimal point. That's 0 and 5. And then in 5 and 6/10ths, we have 1 digit behind the decimal point, and that is the 6. So we have 1, 2, 3 digits behind the decimal point, so we need to move our decimal point 1, 2, 3 places to the left. So our answer is 56 and 280 thousandths. Turn to page 89. I would like for you to do numbers 5, 6, and 7 on your own. Number 5. Reed bought 1 8/10 pounds of green beans. The green beans cost $1.27 per pound. What was the total cost of Reed's green beans? Round your answer to the nearest hundredth. So again, you're going to take a look at your two decimals. We have 1 8/10 and $1.27, and $1.27, that has the most digits in it, so we're going to write $1.27 on the top. And then we're going to take a look at 1 8/10. 8/10 is the last digit, so we're going to line that up with the last digit in $1.27. So the 8 should be below the 7. Then you write your decimal point, and 1 should be below the 2. Now we're going to multiply. 7 times 8 is 56. Carry the 5. 8 times 2 is 16, plus the 5 is 21. Carry the 2. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 2 is 10. We're moving on to the 1, so that means we have to write a placeholder 0. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 1 is 1. Now we're going to add our partial products. 6 plus 0 is 6, 1 plus 7 is 8, 0 plus 2 is 2, and 1 plus 1 is 2. Now we're going to count how many digits are behind the decimal point. So in 1 27/100ths, we have 2 digits behind the decimal point, 2 and 7. And in 1 8/10ths, we have 1 digit behind the decimal point, which is 8. So 2 digits plus the 1 digit, that's 3 digits. So we're going to move our decimal point 1, 2, 3 places to the left. And since we are rounding our answer to the nearest hundredth, the 6 tells the 8 to round up. So the answer is $2.29. Number 6, find the product. So we have 65/100ths times 11/100ths. They both have the same amount of digits, so it doesn't matter which one goes on top. I picked the 65/100ths. And then you're going to line the 1, the last digit, in 11/100ths underneath the last digit of 65/100ths. So the 1 goes underneath the 5, and the other 1 goes underneath the 6. Sometimes the decimal points do line up, but again, you want to make sure you're lining up the last digit with the last digit of the other decimal. Now we can multiply. 5 times 1 is 5. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 0 is 0. We're moving on to the next place value, so we have to put a placeholder 0. 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 6 is 6, and 1 times 0 is 0. I did not multiply 0 times all the numbers in the top because you're just going to end up getting a whole nother row of zeros. So I stopped there. Now I'm going to add. 5 plus 0 is 5. 6 plus 5 is 11, carry the 1. 0 plus 6 is 6, plus the 1 is 7, and 0. There's 2 digits behind the decimal point in 6500ths, and there's 2 digits behind the decimal point in 1100ths. So 2 digits plus 2 digits, that's 4 digits. So we move our decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4 places to the left. So our answer is 715 10,000ths. Number 7, we have 281 thousandths times 6 tenths. Again, look for the decimal that has the most digits in it, and that is 281 thousandths. So I wrote that one on top. I lined up the last digit in 6 tenths, which is 6, under the last digit of 281 thousandths with the 1. So 6 goes underneath the 1, then your decimal point, 0. Now you can multiply. 1 times 6 is 6. 6 times 8 is 48, carry the 4. 6 times 2 is 12, plus the 4 is 16, carry the 1. 6 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. And in this example, I did multiply 0 times all the numbers in the top. So that's why there's a whole row of zeros. So again, after multiplying 6 by all the numbers on the top, now we're going to move on to the 0. And since we're moving on to the 0, we have to put a placeholder 0. 0 times 1 is 0, 0 times 8 is 0, 0 times 2 is 0, and 0 times 0 is 0. Now we can add. 6 plus 0 is 6, 8 plus 0 is 8, 6 plus 0 is 6, and 1 plus 0 is 1, and you bring down the 0. There's 1, 2, 3 digits behind the decimal point in 281 thousandths, and there's 1 digit behind the decimal point in 6 tenths. So 3 plus the 1 is 4. So we're going to move our decimal point over 1, 2, 3, 4 places to the left. And our answer is 1,686 10,000ths.